How would you describe CAIS in 3 adjectives?
Engaging, inspiring, rigorous. Engaging because we want students to be actively involved in their learning. Inspiring because we want them just to love what they are learning. And rigorous because we have high expectations on the work that they will do.
Which Bible verse inspires you the most?
I think for me, the Bible verse that I like the most for CAIS is Luke 2:52. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man.
宣道國際學校創校短短6年，憑住正面嘅校風品德、多元學制同埋升學出路，以及學生出色嘅體藝發展，近年非常受家長歡迎。究竟學校喺規劃課程同埋培育學生方面有咩秘訣呢？好高興邀請到宣道國際學校嘅總校長 Richard Vanderpyl 接受訪問，講解學校係點樣貫徹辦學嘅宗旨，成為一間適合香港學生嘅好學校，培育學生嘅領導才能，將來為社會貢獻。同時亦以完善嘅設施輔助學生發揮音樂、體育嘅天賦同埋興趣。即刻聽下校長嘅分享啦。
Thank you very much, Richard, for your time and for welcoming me onto this amazing campus.
Jennifer, it's a pleasure. It's just so nice to have you here.
So, Richard, I have had the pleasure to interview a lot of principals from very top schools in Hong Kong, both local and international. And one commonality they share is that they have a long legacy in Hong Kong. Whereas CAIS is relatively new, right? 6 years old so far, right? But I have heard very good reputation of the school and that the number has grown tremendously over the past few years under your leadership. So you must have done something right.
Well, I think one of the things I've done right is to surround myself with really wonderful people. And like anything, for a school to grow, it's a team effort. But our reputation, I think, has grown due to our real focus on quality Christian education, high expectations within the school. Students are safe within, help them to grow. We want students here, and I think we've done that well, to have a sense of belonging. You know, they feel CAIS is part of them, and I think that's really important.
So can you share with me more about your own education background and your philosophy, and how have you brought that to the school to build the culture for the school?
Yes, well, originally from New Zealand. I've been involved in education all my life. We talk a lot about, you know, sharp minds, you know, students who are able to think well, who are able to critically analyse what they are seeing or reading, to be able to critique. But we also want students, and my philosophy is very much is the heart, the type of person they are. You know, we enjoy when we see clever people, but when they come with compassion, when they come with a heart that loves others, that's willing to serve others, I think that for me is what I want to really cultivate within the students at CAIS.
So what would you say would be the key 3 highlights of the school?
Well, I think the first highlight for us is we are a Christian school. So all of our teachers are Christian. We teach Alberta curriculum, but we teach it from a Christian perspective. I think that's one of our key highlights. Our facilities, of course, you know, they are seriously amazing, and we're really blessed with a board that has invested well into the school because they know that facilities enhance learning. And I think the other one is just the culture of the school. It's a culture where people feel safe, where they feel affirmed, where teachers nearly love the children as much as mum and dad love their children.
Do they link, and what is the leadership development program?
Yes.
It's compulsory for all students, right?
The leadership program is compulsory for grades 7, 8 and 9. So that's the foundation years, you could say, of the high school. And that's really where we want to develop those leadership skills. Our vision at CAIS is to be the best school for Hong Kong, for the world and for Christ. it is the graduates who leave our school. I firmly believe that people are not born leaders, they become leaders through practice, through opportunity. So we teach them the soft skills of leadership. It begins with humility, it begins with courage, the willingness to speak up, wisdom. So we teach them these skills so that they can be of great influence in society. We want our students also in that same way to influence others for good. And we even start that in the primary school, which is what you saw. And so in the primary school, we just create so many opportunities for them to practice the skill of being a leader and the different skills that come into it.
So you mentioned just now about the school's motto, or the vision of the school is to be good for Hong Kong, the world, and Christ. Yeah. So what's the difference between good, best for Hong Kong versus the best in Hong Kong?
Changing one little word changes everything. If a school wants to be the best in Hong Kong, now to be fair, we do have that deep inside, we do want to be the best. But when you desire to be the best in Hong Kong, it changes the way you educate because you have to decide the best in what. But when you want to be the best for, then it is all about the student. It's all about the type of student who leaves your school. And if we want to be the best for Hong Kong, they do need to be academically sharp. They need to think, they need to be able to critique, they need to hold a good discussion. They need all of those academic skills. If they are going to be a doctor that will influence society for good, well, they need all of the skills to be able to get into a university for medicine. The key is also their character. We love winners, we do love winners, but boy don't we know the difference between an arrogant winner and a humble winner. Both of them are winners, but one we prize more than the other because we see the humility that is part of them.
I see amazing facilities in the school. Is there a particular area of focus that you would promote and any special events faced in this school recently?
Yeah, I think probably two key areas that I would highlight. One is music. The school has a real strength in music, and so that's reflected in the facilities. The Alliance Hall, the orchestral rehearsal room, individual private rehearsal rooms, and the facilities there. Why? Because we want students who are gifted in music to flourish in it. We just want them to enjoy that this is an aspect of their education. The other one that we really do also grow is sports. So we have really high quality gymnasiums, we have a football pitch. Just in fact recently we've launched the PSG Football Academy, and that's an amazing relationship with a French football team where they will be headquartered here at CAIS.
Also actually offering ongoing training.
Absolutely, yes.
Which place in CAIS do you like the most?
Well, I would love to say the canteen, but in actual fact it is inside the classrooms. Just to be able to see students learning, engaged in their learning, and just loving what they're doing.
How do you spend your weekends in Hong Kong?
I love Hong Kong for its nature, and so most weekends you will find me climbing Lion Rock or hiking in the hills.
Your school offers 3 curriculums, I heard, and that is actually quite unique, especially for a new school. Can you share with us more about the philosophy behind why you're offering 3?
The main reason for 3 is that every child is unique. Every child has a particular learning style, they have a particular pathway that they want to go. So for us, the Alberta curriculum is the backbone of the school. We teach that from preparatory through to grade 12. They get the diploma, they can go anywhere in the world. We also know that some students want IB, and part of our diversifying the curriculum is to offer that. And it's a different style of pedagogy, it's a different philosophical approach to learning, and for some students that's exactly what they want. They feel they are really flourishing under IB. We offer classes of 3 students, of 5 students, because it is so important that they are able to complete the AP or the Alberta. But the other average class size is 22 students, so it sort of balances out. It is expensive offering all three, but that's the investment by the board. That's their heart, is to say, let's make sure that every child, when they come to school and they're learning, it's in a pathway that they want to be.
So Richard, can you share with me a little bit more about your student demographics?
We have a higher number of non-local students. Most of our students will be Canadian, Hong Kong, Australians, even Kiwis are in the school, which is lovely. So a wide range, and as you know, English is the medium of instruction in the school.
The Chinese language is taught to a relatively high standard.
Yes.
Can you share with us a little bit more about your Chinese program?
That's one of our strengths, which is the Chinese program. So it's compulsory in the primary school from prep to grade 12. We have two streams. One is the native stream, one is the non-native stream. So the non-native is obviously, maybe someone has come in grade 4 from Australia. As a non-native speaker, I will do it to this level. But our native class level is to a very, very high level. And that is because we know the importance of really helping our young children learn the Chinese language and to really fully understand that. But when they get to high school, they have basically three choices of languages. They can either continue in Mandarin, or they can then choose French or Spanish. Most of our students will continue in Chinese, and that goes all the way through to IB Mandarin.
With AI, ChatGPT, I think it's not just impacting the world, but it's really a huge impact on education.
Yeah.
What is CAIS doing to ensure that the education that you provide here is future ready?
When it comes to things like AI, it's the world our students are going to be in. So how do we help our students cope with change? We teach them how to use it and how to use it with integrity. How do you present work that is of your own? And that to me is critical. One of the dangers with ChatGPT is that students just become so reliant on it, they stop thinking. And you know, the world becomes a better place when we have time to innovate, when we have time to create, when we have time to think about problems and solutions to those problems, rather than just type in what might be the answer. Just about gone are the days where you say, do an assignment at home and bring it in. I think it's now going to be more focused on, I'm watching you learn during the lesson. I'm seeing where you're at. I'm understanding your ability. I'm in a sense monitoring your learning in the class, because that I can see as authentic. That is your effort. That's your own creative thinking, etc. So I think there'll be a lot more focus to that, which I think is good. It will shift, but it's a positive shift as well.
So Richard, surely it's quite competitive getting into CAIS. For the grade ones, what do they have to do? So for the grade 6 to 7, we see a lot of transitioning students from local to international. Yeah. What do they have to go through?
So the grade ones, three things really. One is a social interaction. So they'll come in, they'll be in a small group, a teacher will be observing them, they'll have some fun games, some activities. The students will also do a fairly basic written test. You know, what we're really trying to find out is just to ascertain their level of literacy in that way. And that'll help us to see when the students are accepted, where their level is. And the third one is a little bit of pressure on the parents. We also have an interview with the parents, and our Director of Admissions will meet with them and just really have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
When it goes up to grade 7, it's a little bit more pressure on the students, and that is because they do a number of, for us, Canadian, it's an Alberta standardised test. And so they will do it in reading, they'll do literacy, and they'll also do mathematics. And it's about 3 hours, so yeah.
Quite long.
It is quite long.
With an interview, right?
With an interview.
Yeah. Well, Richard, thank you so much for your time today. I learned a lot, not just from this conversation, but from our previous conversations about how the school has developed. And many congratulations to you. Such a successful few years, and I'm sure there'll be more to come.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jennifer, and it's been a delight. really to speak about a school that I love, and it's a school that the teachers here love. It's a community, it's one in which everyone is working together well. So yeah, I can't take all of the credit. As a Christian school, we do thank God for blessing the school with so many different, in so many different ways, but it's a team effort, which I love.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
今日好開心嚟到 CAIS 嗰度 interview 校長啦。咁雖然間學校得6年嘅歷史，但呢間學校咧做得好好。呢幾年咧喺疫情期間咧都多咗400幾位嘅學生，總共1600名嘅學生。咁有啲乜嘢係佢哋嘅 highlights 咧？我諗第一咧就係設施真係好完善，第二咧就係佢哋好灌輸咧基督教嘅價值觀同埋領導才能嘅培訓咧入咗去學校嘅 curriculum 裏邊。第三咧就係去到最高年班嘅時候咧，呢間學校咧都有3個唔同嘅學制，有加拿大 Alberta 啦，有 IB 啦，亦都有美國嘅 AP。咁呢個係比較少有嘅。咁所以呢樣嘢咧俾到學生咧好多元化嘅選擇權啦，同埋亦都係俾到佢哋好多唔同嘅出路。